You mentioned about assessing the market. So what does that mean? Do you mean market research?
Yeah. It just depends what you're going to be doing. There's a lot of market research that will need to go into it.
Mhm.
I think that's the one thing that you're looking back, I wish I had done a lot more of in terms of sitting down and really writing down the various steps. I understood the market from a place of being in it. So I worked with a lot of startups. I worked, in an international agency, before I started my own. And so I learned, how to do things the right way. As an agency, I learned the steps that I needed to, really not make the same mistakes a lot of agencies do make. And so I spent time watching what agencies were doing wrong and trying to better myself in that. And so I think that's part of the work that needs to be done, is really looking at, how can I make this better? And then second is going at and actually doing research on whatever you're going to do and trying to find the gaps, trying to find the ways to actually do better. And then also looking at, another avenue and an approach to it. Because as a startup, as a brand, you really want to be focusing on not just this step, but 5 steps ahead, and really looking at how can you better yourself, in the future. Because we're living in a world where a lot of things are becoming obsolete, and the TikTok tomorrow might not be what's needed today. And so that's extremely important, and we've seen that happen. We've seen a lot of influencers just drop off because they've been following a trend that actually just died overnight, or businesses that have died overnight. And so in order to really mitigate those risks, you need to actually find ways to be 5 steps ahead, look at things that will be lasting, evolving over time. And so that's part of the research that I think startups need to do.
Great. You said that you looked at different agencies because you wanted to have an agency for digital marketing. Were they their competitors or no?
Yeah, definitely. I think what I did was I never looked at agencies that was the same size as myself. I always looked at agencies that were much bigger. And so when I looked at them, I tried to figure out what were they doing wrong and how could I just be a bit better than what they were. And then also looking and trying to always have an agency that I wanted to be like and evolve like. And so not going to the same services, because oftentimes you find that that's not a good fit for a business, but looking for services that are similar and trying to just better yourself as an agency. I look at VaynerMedia as being an incredible agency. Gary Vee is my idol, and I look at that and try to see what is it that we can as an agency do that's on the same line and level, but how can we actually also just provide service that are great, and look at bettering ourselves as a business. And so that's what I think what we've done, and I think a lot of businesses should be doing as well.
Yeah, that's a great thing that you said, because you are not only to get to know about the market and what's happening, you learn a lot from the people who did it before you, and maybe you can offer something better than them.